does it mean to have All-Star back here in Atlanta?
Special. It is special. You figure it hadn't been here in, what, 25 years or so. It's very special. You've got, what, 30 teams? So you figure everybody gets one. And for it to be here, some of us may or may not be around to see the next one here, but the young folks and even the older folks, if you can get a chance to get out, you definitely need to do so because it's something special. It happens every probably 30 years here.
How have you seen the All-Star festivities really evolve since your time back in '92?
Well, let me say this to you. It's crazy to me. It really is. Old school, I'm one of those old school players that enjoyed the All-Star Game. You know, the events before, all that wasn't really my cup of tea, so to speak. So all the things that happen now, great for the players if they enjoy it, their families enjoy it, the fans enjoy it. It's a great thing, but my All-Star time was excellent. It was just enough time to get back home and get a couple of minutes rest before you had to get going again.
Tell me about that '92 experience with the All-Star Game. What do you remember most?
Probably just walking in the locker room. I mean, you walk into a locker room of All-Stars. And nothing against my teammates because we were very good. But to walk in the room of All-Stars that most of them you've never played with. I think one or two guys I might have played with before that, Ozzie Smith and maybe one other. But to walk into a room of All-Stars and you be a part of that is something that you'll never forget. You know, I walked into a room with Barry Bonds screaming at me about his MVP award that's hanging at my house. You know, I had to hear that All-Star Game about that. But for the most part, it was awesome. You know, you get to sit down and talk to some players that you play against. You don't have the time to sit around and talk with them about other things in life, about family, about what's going on with you. But we got the opportunity to do some of that. So that was great. It was great to get to meet other players that you didn't know and find out what kind of people they really were.
You're sitting there telling me about Barry Bonds, yelling about his MVP and whatnot. It's really funny because when you think about those times, I'm curious, are there any other interactions or stories that come from that week that just stick out where you're like, that was really funny or that was really cool and something that you would only really get to experience during All-Star?
Oh, not really, because, well, we got going with different things and, you know, we get ready to take an All-Star picture with the Braves and, of course, I got on the wrong hat. You know, everybody else was wearing their Braves hat, and I got on some, I don't even remember what it was, maybe it's some type of All-Star hat that I had on. Then I look at the picture and go, okay, really? That's really not good, you know? But it's the picture we took, you know? So it was just little things there because you get into an atmosphere that you're really not used to. So you're bouncing around trying to do media work and trying to take pictures, and, you know, these three guys want a picture with you and all types of things. So you're really bouncing around having a good time. But it also becomes work in the process of all that, too, because you're doing so much.
There will be 3 Braves taking part in all of this. Ronnie, Matt, Chris Sale. Just what have you seen from those 3 guys this season?
Well, they're starting to get consistent. I wish Chris hadn't gone down. Sale, I mean, that's major for us, you know. With the struggles that we've had with pitching this year, to know one guy's going to walk out there and, well, actually with double S, I call him too, Spencer. You know, those 2 guys, and nothing against the rest of the staff, but those 2 guys had consistency. You knew when they walked out there, there's a really good chance you're going to win. And now you got both of them down, you know, and you're looking around going, okay, how are we going to get this done? So we've got young kids up there trying to make their way now, which is good. We got a young one up there now who's going to be pretty good. We might have to wait a year or 2 for him, but he's going to be pretty good. I mean, we got some down in the minor leagues that are pretty good, but they have to wait and, you know, come this way. We need them now, but they're not ready for it. So it's a giant plus to see these guys in it. Our first baseman has been consistent. You know, he struggled a little bit last year offensively, but he got it going. And, you know, baseball is baseball. No matter how good you think you are, it will humble you. So you have to go through the humbling times that we're going through right now and continue to battle.
You mentioned you're kind of an old school baseball guy, right? When you see a player like Ronald Acuna, what is your original thoughts, like right off the bat, when you think of a player of his caliber?
Well, it's kind of tough for me to look at him one way because I saw him when he was 17 or 18, you know. But I see special.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be around him to see it. I mean, you'll walk out and watch batting practice, and you'll see how much more special he is than the other guys. And nothing against the talented guys that are in the league. but he's just special. There's something just special about that. You go, oh my goodness, when you see that type of talent. He's a special kid. He sometimes wears his emotions on his sleeves, but his bottom line is he wants to win every day, and he wants to do it in a Braves uniform.
Yeah. Everyone's going to be super excited to see him in the home run derby. What are you looking forward most to when the weekend gets underway?
I don't know. You have to know me a little better to understand how I work. I don't get excited over all this stuff. But don't get me wrong, it is an exciting time. But I'm more the mild-mannered person. I really don't want any spotlight. I'll go to whoever wants it. That's the type of person I am. So I don't get overly excited over these things. It'd be interesting to see the home run derby contest because I know how special Ronald Acuna is. I just hope when it's all over that he comes back with the same swing he had before he left, instead of trying to do too much during that contest. But I think the Futures game ought to be interesting too, because there are a lot of young players out there that the fans will get to see. They may not know their names, but after that Futures game, they'll start watching a little more.
Yeah, you're someone who will spend some time at the All-Star Legacy Village. What does it mean to you to just be able to give back to this community, but also talk to the people who support the Braves so much?
It's special for me. When I came to Atlanta, I had another choice. I had a choice to go to New York and play for the Yankees. And going to New York and coming to Atlanta as a visiting player when I was a Cardinal, you kind of sensed that New York wasn't the place for me and my family, and my wife made it clear. But you had a sense of Atlanta needed a little something special, and if they got it, they would be here, in all the states around it would be something special. And coming here made that special. But since being here, my family and I have been here 30 plus years, and the Atlanta folks, whether they've lived here, born and raised here, or come from somewhere else, have always made us feel like this was home. And that's special for me. So to be able to give back, go talk to fans, listen to what's going on, watch them get excited and have a good time over all the events, that's something special to me.